Back in the day, I used to love Kayla Pratt. And she still looks good now. So when I saw her, I was like, wow. Wow. Welcome to Agents for Screen and welcome back to yet another Insecure recap, season 4, episode 6. I am your boy Miles, aka the Ball Beyonce. And before we go any further, please, if you like our content, like, share, subscribe. But that being said, I'm going to try not to sing in this episode. But I'm going to say off the bat, this episode was... it hurts me to say it, but... it was probably the worst episode of the season, and at times it kind of felt like filler. You know, obviously, based on what happened last week, it was a whole hurricane. So, you know, after the hurricane, you're gonna have the down. You're gonna have to assess the damage. You're gonna see, oh, the windows are broken over here. Okay, the buildings are destroyed over here. Okay, the roof came off over there. So I understand that somewhat, but even though it still had some funny moments, some very funny moments, it definitely felt like they were stretching it. It definitely felt like filler, in my opinion anyway. But that being said, let's get into the episode. The episode opens with Issa in bed. You can see she's living within her brain. She's reenacting everything that's happened over the past day, the past week, however long it's been. She's toying with the idea, should she call, should she not? You can see that every time she gets a call or a text, she's expecting it to be Molly. She has numerous voicemails, either telling her that the event was great or trying to find out what happened between her and Molly the night before. And as I said, Molly's words are just swirling around in Issa's head. And as a result, this episode is basically Issa doing random acts of kindness to prove to herself that what Molly is saying about it isn't true. And also doing things to distract herself from facing the reality, which is dealing with the situation with Molly and deciding whether she's going to reach out to her or what is the right thing to do. And so Issa goes out for the day. She has a sip and paint to go to later on, so she's going to go to the grocery to buy a drink. While she's in the line is long. And you have this pregnant woman, she's going up to everyone in the line. Oh, I need a little help. Can you help me out there? Everyone is saying no. She can see her in the mirror. Her mirror self is telling her, yo, don't do that shit. But eventually she reaches out to her and says, yo, calm, I got you, don't worry. When they finally get to the cash register, she tries to pay for it, card is declined. For one, I'm not doing that shit. It is extremely cheeky of her to ask as well. The groceries weren't even cheap, it's like $150. That's a little help, that's not a little help. That was outrageous. And then she had the nerve to look down upon her and say, oh, when her card got declined, and say, oh, it was the act or whatever. Oh boy, she's a better human than me. And speaking of random acts of kindness, when Issa is driving, she sees an old man. The bus drives straight past him and she decides to give him a ride to wherever his destination is. This man's name is George. And as I said, she is a better human than I am, because the way how George was carrying on, I would have pulled him out of the car like GTA. George was a good character. He was very funny, even though he was extremely rude, complaining about the air condition. He said he don't want to use the GPS because that's Babylon thing, and he doesn't hit women, but he will slap a bitch if he has to. George is carrying on wicked. But again, while I felt it was funny and I would have liked to see more of George, maybe somewhere along the line, it definitely felt like filler. This was not necessary for me to see, and it's kind of distracting me from what's happening, because all of us just want to see what's going to happen with Issa and Molly. Fast forward to the sip and drink. Have you guys ever been to a sip and drink? That's one of those events that always looks fun. I know a couple people that put those events on. It looks fun, but I've never actually experienced. If anyone's ever been to a sip and drink, let me know. Would you recommend it? Would you not? And I was getting excited because when she goes to the sip and drink, it seems like she's meeting new friends. So I'm thinking, yes, Issa's meeting some new friends, you know. They're giving her some positive encouragement and all of that. But this part is the highlight of the episode for me, because you see Kayla Pratt. I don't know if you guys recognize Kayla Pratt, but you must do, surely. She was in an old show called One-on-One. Back in the day, I used to love Kayla Pratt. And she still looks good now. So when I saw her, I was like, wow. Wow. But their friendship group, it seemed really fun. It seemed really fun, so I was hopeful. And within that friendship group, they were talking about things that have happened between her, like who slept with whose brother, who did this to who. So I thought they were going to go the route of Issa asking advice, how they were able to overcome obstacles in their friendship and be able to apply that to what's happening between her and Molly. But it didn't go that way. After the sip and drink, they ended up going to a bar / restaurant. They're having a whale of a time. They're giving her positive reinforcement, asking her what she does, allowing Issa to have her shine. Remember in the previous episode when she was on stage, they were just calling for Vince, but now somewhat they allow her to have her 5 minutes to, you know, big yourself up. And that's something that I believe people should do. Speak your truth, say what you're good at, and say it with passion. Don't be scared. Whatever it is, if you're passionate about it and you believe in it, speak it like you mean it. But Issa and one of the girls go to the bathroom and they're having this conversation, and she's saying to her, where can I find all the guys in the city? And Issa says to her, if you want this type of guy, you go here. If you want this type of guy, you go here. You go with this type of guy, you go there. And when she's listening to some type of feedback, she hears nothing. She looks under the seat. She can't see any legs. She goes back out. They have gone. All the plates are empty. They leave her to fit the bill. When she looks on the table, she can see some type of bachelorette hit list, some game that they've been playing. And one of the things is to 1, befriend a stranger, and 2, dine and dash. And you get double points if you can do both at the same time. So they ditched that. I felt bad for her because, as I said earlier, I was looking forward to Issa making some new friends because I don't think she has many good friends. Maybe Kelly. That's 1. That being said, it is good to have one good friend. A lot of people are friends, but they're not really like friends, not people that you could count on. So Issa's on her road, she's trying to look for them, and when I saw this scene, I knew immediately it was a dream sequence. But I wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't, because she took the painting, she saw the girls on the street, she ran her down like some WWE, hit her over the head. I would have loved if that was real. And she, as a theme in this episode, she is a better human than me because I am not letting that slide. I don't know what exactly I would do, but if I see them, I'm not letting that slide. Especially in Issa's predicament. You saw the card get declined earlier. Money is not growing on trees for her right now, so I'm not taking that shit lightly. You shouldn't allow people to violate you. And also, sometimes being the bigger person, not only in this situation, but in life in general, even with friendships like we see with Issa and Molly, sometimes being the bigger person is absolutely exhausting, especially if you be the bigger person all the time. Sometimes people just need their ass beat. Sometimes, but sometimes people just need to get punched up. You know, some people have never been punched in the mouth before, and it definitely shows. If you have, you definitely conduct yourself differently. But I digress. After this, Issa goes to see her mother, but while she's on the way there, she gets another text and call from Kelly again, another real good friend trying to reach out to her. Finally, they speak. She's saying, and I don't know how I feel about this actually, and I think Issa picks up on this as well. That's why she says to her, I hope you have this same energy for Molly as well, because I always feel like I am the one to reach out to her. If you remember one of the earlier seasons when Issa suggests to Molly that she should go to therapy, Molly takes that the wrong way, and Issa was the one that had, even though she was in the right, Issa was the one that had to go and apologize. So she was right in saying she's always the one that has to extend the olive branch, and she just doesn't want to be the one that has to do it this time, especially in her mind. Even though she's battling, in her mind she believes that Molly was in the wrong for what she said. And we haven't seen Issa's mother often in the whole series. We maybe seen her like once or twice, but they have a really good moment, a really nice conversation about growth, about making the most of the situation. You come to learn that Issa's mother didn't necessarily want to have children, but in time they were the best things that happened to her in her life. They spoke about your personal path, and a quick side note, that's something that's really important. I know especially in social media and on Twitter, they make certain things seem normal, like at 18 or 20 I had this or I had that, and you should be earning X amount of money. Like, that's all fictional. If you focus on yourself, I know it's easy, especially as I said with social media, to feel down or that you haven't done enough by a certain age, but everyone's path is different, and including Issa. And Issa's mother gives us some reinforcement again, how she admired her, and you could see from Issa's face that, you know, you could tell without them saying it explicably in the show that Issa and her mother don't have the best relationship. You see most of the time she ignores her calls, etc., or she just doesn't want to go to see her. And this seems to be something that Issa never knew, that her mother actually admired her and thought she was talented in a variety of different things. After seeing her mother, she goes back home, and you know, she can see again all the positive comments about the block party and people asking when the next one is. So she's in a good mood. She opens the fridge, there's nothing there, so she has to get something to eat. She goes to her her favorite Ethiopian restaurant. And if you remember in season 1 episode 1, her and Molly go to the restaurant together. So now full circle, they're back at the restaurant. Before she goes in, she can see Molly through the door. And it almost looks like she's gonna go inside. But then she still remembers everything that happened, putting her finger in her face. And you can see Molly is on her phone having a whale of a time. Like, she doesn't have a care in the world. And it would seem like the signs were pointing towards this being the moment that they have to talk. But as I just said, based on what she saw, she went back in her car and she drove straight home. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Issa should have gone in and spoke to her? For me, I don't think so. I don't think she should have gone in. I think Molly will only care about what's happening between her and Issa when the eventual demise of her and Andrew's relationship happens. And this episode seemed really short as well. When it was coming to an end, I was thinking, please don't end like this. Please don't end like this. But it did. And we got a preview of next week's episode, and it seems like it's going to be a solo Molly and Andrew episode. I don't want to see that. A whole episode? This seems like another filler again. But speaking of which, it seems like they're going on a vacation together. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Because vacations, it can be the make and break in a relationship. It really can, because you get to spend so much time together. You're living together for a designated point in time, and you get to see the real them. Boy, personally, I've had some disastrous ones, but they are absolutely necessary, and it is a good litmus test to check to see who this person really is. But on paper, I don't want to see no Molly solo episode. I'm gonna be honest. But that has been my recap for season 4 episode 6 of Insecure. I think it was called Low-Key Done. This one was low-key boring, I can't lie, even though it had some nice moments throughout. My highlight was Kayla Pratt. Love seeing her again. But I have been your boy Miles, and we have been the Agents of S.C.R.E.E.N, and we will see you the same time next week. I hope the next episode is better. Oh my god, the solo thing. This solo episode is filling me with dread. But anyways, until next week, peace.